Good morning, students. Today we will be revising the first chapter named Periodic Properties and Variation of Properties, Physical and Chemical. Mainly, we are named this chapter as Periodic Table. Okay, so let's start. Okay, now the our board, the ICC board, have given us this syllabus for this chapter, the first chapter. Okay, so this syllabus includes mainly the periodic properties and the variation of the properties in the groups and periods, mainly the atomic size, metallic character, non-metallic character, ionization potential, electron affinity and electronegativity. There are mainly the 6 parameters which we have to determine the trends and the variation in groups and periods. Okay, so and there are also some of the topics like periodicity on the basis of atomic number of elements and how to find a element in the period up to argon or beyond period 3 or up to argon, or you can do that among calcium up to 20. You can do that up to 20. Okay, and periodicity and other related properties to be explained on the basis of nuclear charge and shells. The effect of nuclear charge and the shells theory should be there in your syllabus. But as I have earlier said that while teaching this discussing this chapter, that the orbitals, that mainly the SPDF orbitals, are not in your syllabus, but obviously the shell theory are there in your syllabus. That is the K shell, L shell, M shell, N shell. The shell theory are present in your syllabus, but not the orbitals. Okay, so the SPDF theory is not on your syllabus, not in your syllabus. Okay, and the special difference to alkali metal and halogen. So there should be a comparative way to look at the things of halogen, that is group number 17, and alkali metals, that is group number 1. Okay, so there should be a comparative discussion on the alkali metal and the group number 17, that is halogens. Okay, so the first thing, as I am going according to the syllabus, so the first thing is atomic size. Okay, so the atomic size, atomic radius, or atomic size is defined by the atomic radius. Okay, so atomic radius, as we already know, that atomic radius will increase from top to bottom. Okay, from top to bottom it will increase, but when we go from left to right, the atomic radius will decrease, because the atomic radius, while going down, the atomic radius will increase, because the number of shells of electrons will be more. There will be more number of electrons, so number of shells of electrons will be added in while going from up to bottom in a group. Okay, so while going from up to bottom in a group, there will be the number of shells of electron will be added. So there are more number of shells of electron present from lower groups. Okay, lower end of the groups. Okay, so that is why, as there are more number of shells of electron are present, that is why the size or atomic radius of the elements will be bigger. So that is why it is saying that atomic radius increases as we move down a group, because there are more number of shells of electron. Okay, and the second one is as we move from left to right, the atomic radius decreases, because as we go from left to right, the nuclear charge increases. Okay, so that pulls the electron closer to the nucleus, as we move from left to right, the nuclear charge increases. That is why that pulls the electron closer to the nucleus, leading to the decrease the atomic radius or decrease to the atomic size. Okay, that is why the atomic radius will be decreasing. Okay, and the second topic is metallic character. The metallic character, what at first we have to know, before the metallic character we discuss the metallic character, we should know about the metals. Metals react. How do metals react? Okay, how does metals react, or how do metal reacts? Mainly they react through donating an electron. Okay, mainly metals do in a set process. The metals do the reaction by a set process. Set means single electron transfer process. Okay, so metal does the reactions by donating a electron. Okay, so what metals do? Metal donates the electron. Okay, now higher the size or the radius, higher the size of the metal, lesser the attractive pull towards the nucleus of electron. Okay, so if the metal size is higher, metal size or radius is higher, then it will be lesser attractive pull towards the nucleus of electron. So the attractive pull of electron towards the nucleus will be less. That is why it is easier for metal to donate an electron. Okay, if the attractive pull of electron towards the nucleus is less, then it is easier for a metal to donate an electron. That's leading to a more electron donation. Okay, so the greater will be the electron donation. So the metallic character will be increasing. So as the metal donates electron, if some elements donate electron easily, then the metallic character will increases. Okay, so what we can say, if the element size is higher or greater, increases, if the element size increases, then the metallic character will also be increases, because if the size increases, then the attractive pull towards the nucleus will be decreasing. So that element can donate the electron more easily. Okay, that is why the electron donation will increases, and that is why the metallic character will also be increasing. So higher the size, greater will be the metallic character. Okay, and the second one is non-metallic character. So at first we have to know the non-metal. So non-metal react by accepting an electron, as metal reacts by donating an electron, and non-metal react by accepting an electron or accepting electrons. Okay, so here lesser is the size, greater will be the attractive pull towards the nucleus of electron. So nucleus will be tightly bound if the size of the element is lesser. If the lesser in size, if the atomic size or the element size is lesser, okay, then the electron will be tightly bound. Okay, so it is more easier for that element to accept an electron. Okay, if the attractive pull towards the nucleus is higher, okay, then it is easier for that nucleus to accept a electron. Okay, so that is why if the size is lesser, then it will be greater attractive pull towards the nucleus, so higher will be the electron accepting power. Okay, that will lead to the non-metallic character, because higher the electron accepting power, greater will be the non-metallic character. Okay, so that is why we can simply say that if the size or atomic radius of the element is decreasing, then the non-metallic character will be increasing. Okay, if the size or the metallic or size the atomic radius of an element will decreasing in trend, then the non-metallic character will be on increasing trend. Okay, and that is why, as we know, in a period, if we go left to right, then what happens? Then size decreases. That is why the metallic character also decreases. Metallic character is proportional to the size. If size increases, then metallic character also increases. But here, from left to right, the size decreases. That's why metallic character will be decreasing. Okay, but in the group, when top to bottom, what happens? The radius increases. From top to bottom, radius increases. That is why in a group the metallic character also be increasing. So metallic character is proportional to the size. If size increases, then metallic character also be increases. also increases, and if the size decreases, then metallic character also decreases. Okay, and the second thing is non-metallic character. In the same, from going from left to right, the size decreases. Okay, here non-metallic character is inversely proportional to size. The non-metallic character is inversely proportional to size or r. Okay, so non-metallic character is inversely proportional to size or r. So here, okay, so here the, if we go from left to right in a period, the size decreases. So non-metallic character is inversely proportional to the size. So if size decreases, then non-metallic character will be increases. Okay, on going down in a group, okay, from top to bottom, the size increases as non-metallic character is inversely proportional to the size. So as the in a group, while top to bottom the size increases, so non-metallic character, as it inversely proportional, so it will be decreases in nature. Okay, so metallic character is proportional to radius or size. So if the radius increases, then metallic character also increased. Okay, and if the non-metallic character is inversely proportional to the radius, so if radius increases, then non-metallic character decreases. If radius decreases, non-metallic character increases. Okay, I hope you guys have understood this topic till now. And the second one is, there are some topics like ionization energy or ionic potential. Okay, or ionization energy. Here I have written in a mistake. This should be ionization energy and ionic potential. Okay, this should be ionic potential. Okay, I have rewritten it over and over. So okay, so sorry for that. And the second one is electron affinity. The first one is ionic potential or ionization energy. The second one is electron affinity, and third one is electronegativity. So what is ionization energy? As I have earlier discussed about that, it is the minimum amount of energy required to remove a most loosely bound electron, that is the valence electron, of an isolated gaseous atom or molecule. Okay, so it is the minimum amount of energy that is required to remove a valence electron from its isolated gaseous atom or molecule. Okay, so it is the energy that is required to remove an electron. Okay, it is simple. So it is called as ionization energy, or IE or EI. Okay, you can say as IE as well. Okay, and the second one is electron affinity. It is opposite of the electron ionization energy. Okay, when ionization energy, to remove an electron, we give the system energy, but here the electron affinity, we have to attach electron to the system, so that system give us some energy. It is totally opposite that of the ionization energy, where ionization energy we take a electron and we have to give a energy, but here in electron affinity, here we attach a electron, then the system will give us energy. So electron affinity of an atom or molecule is defined as the amount of energy released when an electron is attached to the neutral atom or a molecule in a gaseous state to form a negative ion. Because why negative? After addition of an electron, the atom or molecule should be negative in nature. So it is a totally opposite than that of a ionization energy. And the last one is electronegativity. It is also being denoted as En. Okay, so electronegativity is, the symbol is chi. This symbol is named as chi. This is not X, it is chi, CHAI. Okay, so the electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to attract a bonding electron pair towards itself or shared electron pair towards itself. Okay, so electronegativity is a tendency or ability of an atom to attack a bonding electron pair towards itself. Okay, so it is defined as chi or En. Okay, so here the electronegativity, En, ionization energy, both, all of these are proportional to, I don't have the proportional symbol right now, so I give this as a proportional symbol. Okay, so the En, electronegativity, electroaffinity, and ionization energy is proportional to charge by radius. So all of this is almost in a group, all of the charge are mainly same. Okay, in a group the charge remains same for all the members of that group. Okay, so radius varies how it will be increasing from top to bottom. It will be radius will increasing from top to bottom, so only radius will vary. Okay, so electronegativity, electron affinity and ionization energy is proportional to, we can say, radius only. Okay, as the charge of a group is same for all the members. Okay, so electronegativity, ionization energy and electron affinity is proportional to radius or size only. Okay, so in case of electronegativity, as we say, from going left to right, what we are saying that the electronegativity increases, because on going left to right the size decreases. As the size decreases, it is inversely proportional to as charge by radius. The electronegativity, ionization energy and electron affinity is proportional to charge by radius, so it can be saying that electronegativity, electron affinity and ionization energy is inversely proportional to radius. Here the radius will decreases from left to right, so the electronegativity will increases. Okay, and now in a group, if from going top to bottom the radius increases, so electronegativity will decreases, as it is inversely proportional to the size or radius. Okay, so we can see that from going left to right the size increases or radius increases, that is why the electronegativity, being inversely proportional to the size, will decreases. Similarly, from going top to bottom the radius increases, that is why the electronegativity also decreases. Similarly, here in electron affinity, it is also is proportional to, electron affinity is inversely proportional to 1 by r. Okay, inversely proportional to radius. Okay, inversely proportional to radius, that is, so here from going top to bottom, the radius increases, so the electron affinity decreases, or we can say from bottom to top the radius decreases. As the radius decreases, the electron affinity increases. Similarly, from going left to right, in a period the radius decreases, that is why the electron affinity will increases, as it's shown by this figure as well. Okay, and the last thing, ionization energy is also follows the same trend. On going left to right the radius increases, on going left to right the radius decreases, so that is why ionization energy increases. And on going from bottom to top the radius decreases. When radius is decreases, so that will, so why the ionization energy, electron affinity and electronegativity will also be increases in nature. Okay, I hope it is clear to you, and this is the most important topic of all. It is a trick, okay, by which you can determine. This topic is from the syllabus. As per the syllabus, this is the determination of a element in a determination of a position of a element in periodic table. It is very much important for up to 18, or you can do for up to 20 atomic number. Okay, so this topic can be done by this trick only. Okay, you can mark up by remembering the each and every periodic table number by up to atomic number 20. Each and every element for atomic number 20 you can mark up their position, but you can do it by this way. So it is a trick. By that you can do that. Okay, so suppose first we have take says chlorine. We have taken chlorine. The atomic number of chlorine is 17, so you have to do the electronic configuration of chlorine. So chlorine so the electronic configuration of chlorine is 2, 8 and 7. 2, 8, 2, 8, 7, or 2 plus 8 plus 7. Okay, that makes the 17. Okay, so the first thing is we have taken the chlorine. The atomic number of chlorine is 17, so we have to do the electronic configuration. The electronic configuration of the chlorine is 2, 8 and 7. So the last shell, so the 2 electrons are taken in K shell, then L, then M. Okay, so there is K2, L8 and M7. There are mainly 3 shells present, and the 3 shells present, and each cell contain, K shell contain 2 electrons, L shell contain 8 electrons and M shell contain 7 electrons. So the last shell contains 7 electrons. So the valence shell is so the number of valence electron is 7. Okay, so we have to know that thing. Okay, so here the number of number, so you can do that from this uh, information only. You can determine any the place of that element group wise or period wise by this information only. Here 2, 8 and 7, they are the electronic configuration. So the valence number of valence electron is 7. So it is the now as the number of valence electron is 7, so the group in which the chlorine is situated is 7A, or in modern periodic table 17 number group. Okay, if the element have the valence number 4, then it will be present in 14 number group or 4A. Suppose in case of carbon, okay, in case of carbon, the carbon has 4, 2, 2, 6, 2, 4, that is, the carbon has 6 atomic number, so the valence electron is 4. So the valence electron is 4. So carbon will be present in 14 number group number 14, or 4A number of group. Okay, so we can determine by this method, we can determine the group. But now it's time for determination of period. Okay, so here the number of shells present, there are mainly 2, 8 and 7. So there are mainly 3 shells are present, that is K, L and M. So there are only 3 shells are present, so the period will be third period. So chlorine will be reside in the third period, and the group number is 17 or 7A. Okay, so in case of carbon, I have always said that carbon has the atomic number 6, so 2 and 4, so the group number will be 14, and there are only 2 shells, right, K, L, N, K and L. So that is why the carbon will reside in second number of period, second period. Okay, hope you guys have understood this well enough. Let's so I have given a homework for you. This is not the homework, you can do this today in my class. Okay, so this, find this position, we have to find the positions of these 6 elements, so that I can get an idea that you guys have understood or not. Okay, the last topic of this chapter mainly is chapter is the comparative discussion between group number 1, that is alkali metal, and group number 17, that is halogens. So elements are lithium, sodium. Group number 1 and group number 17 have some elements, there are the names, and the valency, both of them has the same valency 1. But group number 1, that is alkali metal, is the valency is +1, that is +1, and the group 17 has a, it is also univalent, but it is the it has a 7 number of electrons, 7 valence electrons. Number of valence electron is 7 here. In case of halogens, the number of valence electron is 7 in case of halogen. But in case of alkali metal or group number 1 metal, the number of valence electron is 1. But both of them are unipositive or univalent actually. In case of alkali metal, they are +1, or in case of halogens they are -1. So we can say that both of them are univalent in nature, because alkali metals are +1 or here -1. Okay, conductivity, as the alkali metals are metals, so they do have contain a free electrons in them. Okay, so as they contain free electrons, they are very much good conductor of heat and electricity. But halogens, they do not contain the free electron, as they are non-metal, so they are bad or non-conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, and reducing and oxidizing agent, as we know, they are metals. As I have earlier said, that metals react by donating an electron, so it donates the electron. This electron will reduce a element or compound. So as the metals, alkali metal donate electron, that electron will reduce some other compound, so alkali metal will act as reducing agent. Okay, but here in halogens, they do what? They accept electrons. So by accepting electron, they are getting reduced, but they are doing oxidizing, they act as a oxidizing agent. So they accept electron, that is why they takes electron from another body or another molecule or another species. So that is why, as they are taking electrons from another species, so they are acting as a oxidizing agent. Okay, so alkali metal act as a reducing agent, and the halogens, the group 17, are act as a oxidizing agent. Electronegativity, as we know, the metals, you have to know that the metals are mainly have low electronegativity. Mainly they are electropositive in nature. Okay, but the halogens have highly electronegativity, have higher electronegativity and highly electronegative in character. The fluorine has the highest electronegativity, that is 4.0. Okay, so fluorine has the highest electronegativity, that is 4.0. So if the question comes that who has the highest electronegativity in our periodic table, that is fluorine has the highest electronegativity, 4.0, and metals are the mainly electropositive in nature. Okay, this is the revision class of chapter 1. I hope you guys have understood the topics pretty well. If you have any problem or any doubts regarding this chapter, please ask me, and please do this, the find the positions of these 6 elements in the periodic table right now. Okay, thank you very much.